electrical is what I put at the top of my list. This is a very short list. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you is I want to point to this. Justin, if you want to look to.
Yeah.
Now I took lots of photos with the cover off, and I'm going to show you here in a second. Okay. This is your sub panel. Okay. If you ever want to shut off the power to all of the breakers at one time, there's a closet down this hall, and I took a picture for you. Okay. And we can definitely take a walk if you want, and we can look at that, okay? But if not, independently, you'll have to come in here and turn these off. Okay, so you can kind of see what they've labeled, all right? We had talked about earlier about the possibility of it being a gas furnace. A couple things with the so-called furnace, okay? It's whatever it is, and I say whatever it is, because the door, of course, it's obstructed. It's very old. It looks like they're using, what they do is they bring pipes through the air handler. They use their boiler to heat the water during the winter time. Then they push air across those pipes, and then that's what heats your air. If this were gas, I'd at least see some type of gas line. I'm not seeing that, but that's just from my advantage here, or my vantage point. Okay, you have an HVAC tech come out, that's what I'd want you to do. Okay, first and foremost, whatever that is, if it's a combo heater or cooler, it's just super old, and it might be near the end of its life.
Really?
Yeah, generally 20 years is about what you can expect. You can definitely get more. It looks like they've gotten a lot more, actually. But have an HVAC tech come in, thoroughly clean it, evaluate it, service it, all that stuff, and then they can answer more of your detailed questions. Okay. So back to this panel. So, and I'll show you with, are you videotaping me?
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's
cool.
totally fine.
Are you supposed to ask?
Sorry, I did it for Georgia because Georgia's not able to attend.
No, I have no problem with that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Don't get me in it.
Right. We may need to do a couple takes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's put the light on.
Right. Okay. So here's where we're at on the inside of the panel. Okay. So it looks like when they originally installed it, they likely had the cover off and they got paint and texture. In the electrical world, that's frowned upon. Okay. But a couple of things to think about. This building has been like this. They're probably, every single unit is like this. Does that make it any better? No, but the building hasn't burned down. It's one of those I tell my clients kind of easily, like, hey, you're choosing to live in a building with old electrical. Some things are gonna be like this in other units. You know that. I'm not telling you to run away from this place, and I'm not telling you how to feel about it. I just want you to know from my perspective as an inspector, I'm here to tell you why it's considered a flaw, and then you can decide what you want to do with it, Okay, so a few other things with it is, all right, these are really minor, okay, but if we're going to install the panel today, this stranded aluminum wiring should be greased to protect against rust or corrosion. It looks fine, okay. The problem with the paint and texture is it can corrode the materials, okay, and restrict electrical flow. Now this is an ITE circuit breaker panel, okay. They put a Cutler hammer breaker in here. Usually that's not acceptable to mix and match different types of breakers with the panel manufacturer. However, in electrical world, they do have certain breakers that are allowed to be installed in a dissimilar panel. So again, you can see we have some flaws here, and we'd like to have an electrician look at that. Okay.
Prior to.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would definitely ask them about that. Now, I had one client who had a specific type of loan. They would not allow this person to get the loan until all the paint and texture was cleaned out. But again, that only applies to this one sub-panel.
Now, the sub-panel, is it, can anybody access that?
The main, they can. I don't.
The main, yeah.
Yeah, I don't normally flip anything, so I don't know if I can just easily go and it's off. But you're right. Anybody in this building could possibly have access and mess around with that.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's also for emergency situations for fire department to come in
to be able to come
and
in
shut
quickly,
down
shut
the
off.
entire floor or whatever they need.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's typical to find.
Yes, what I see right here and all this old stuff, you see it all the time. Okay, so it's not like I want you to feel like you need to lose sleep over it.
Okay.
But I just know that I would be thinking, well, the whole building has it like that. What should I really do? Does it mean anything for me to correct this stuff if the rest of the building is that way?
Right.
So it's something to talk with the expert about, the electrician. Okay. So a couple more things. One is, I bet it doesn't even matter to you, that range, I shouldn't be able to grab it and pull it this way. That was an old standard. Children might pull down on the oven door, step on it, things like that. We don't want it to come crashing down, okay? That's a really easy fix if you want to do that. And then the other thing is the electrical here in this kitchen. Just a couple of things. The conduit under the sink, and how about I just, so you don't have to bend down and look at that, I'll just show you pictures. So for the camera, there you go. So you can see this box is a little loose. Technically within 12 inches of the box it's supposed to be secured. Well, there's not much more than about 12 inches, so they may not do anything. But if you're down there messing around, you have objects and stuff, yeah, you might pull on it or whatever, so it'd be better to secure it. Okay, same thing for this outlet here, all right? This conduit could be secured here, and it's also not clamped to the box, so it could potentially pull out. All right, now this outlet is not grounded, but
this one or this one?
the one on that side. Is there one more?
Base down there, yeah.
Where's the other one?
Yeah, there's one.
On the
there.
base.
Oh my gosh.
That one's
down
hidden.
Here. Okay, that's grounded. Okay, so
Wait, how can you tell?
yeah, sure.
Here's a little testing device. Yeah.
So I've got, like, it'll indicate, like, based on the lights that shine, will tell me whether it's wired properly, and if it's not, why, or, you know, which defect is it. So what I want to tell you is this: a GFCI by current standards, ground fault circuit interrupters, technically don't have to be grounded. They believe in the electrical world it's safe enough that whatever grounding issue you have, the GFCI function will take care of that. Now, if my dad were here right now, he would not agree with that, okay? He's asked electricians, okay, fine, you tell me, please explain it. How does this outlet still work without being grounded? Okay, no electrician has been able to convince him of it, so he still calls that out. Here's what you could do to get away with it. You put a little sticker on the outlet that says ungrounded, and the GFCI will suffice. But if you want, you just have the electrician. You have an electrician come in, see if they can ground it, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a mouthful, but
Yeah.
I try to explain that for you, so
Yeah.
if you hear that.
Okay.
Okay? So the electrical, the heating and cooling, everything else, like the fireplace, it looks fine. But I'm with you. If they admitted they haven't been using this, well, who's to say they went on birds up at the flue at the top making mess, or you know, some type of issue that an advanced evaluation will see these defects. So I'd recommend having the expert come out and do a good clean and service and evaluation.
And is that something I'm allowed to do before I get in here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that would be an additional, just a more thorough inspection of the by a certified fireplace person.
Okay.
Yeah, we have those too. We have
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that before, like, as soon as possible.
Sure.
Before, like, inspection, objection, deadline, and all that stuff. So, like, next week.
Cool.
Okay.
Now, in my report for you, it's very simple. Either I put things in as a deficiency or I make them informational. Some things are deficiencies, but they're really minor, so we just make them informational. The fireplace, sure. Do I usually call it out because it's dirty, it doesn't look like it's been kept clean and serviced? Yeah, I could make it a deficiency. Frankly, it looks kind of typical. It's not all that dirty. You know, it doesn't have a bunch of creosote and soot built up in there. The damper worked fine.
Okay.
Don't forget to close your damper during the heating months to not allow all that heat to just escape.